Hello friends, in this video I took a chance to analyze and discuss the solutions for the questions asked in JEE Main January 2019 from the chapter sets. Usually in mains exam, there is a less probability to get a question from the concept sets. Okay, so in some papers there are no questions from the chapter sets, and in some papers we have the questions. When coming to JEE Main January 2019, we are all aware that there exist 8 papers regarding that. Among these 8 papers, only in 3 papers we have a question from sets. And that too, the JEE is conducted in January in 8th, 9, 10, 11, 12 dates, okay? 9, 10, 11, 12. And 12th morning session and evening session, we have a question from sets. And particularly, in the evening session of 12th, we have 2 questions from sets in that paper. And again, in the morning session of 10th, also we have a question. So totally, morning session of 10th, morning and evening sessions of 12th, we have questions from the chapter sets. And in all the remaining papers, there are no questions from the chapter sets. Okay? And when comparing to the difficulty level of these questions, only one question is moderate level, and the remaining 3 questions are very easy. So now I am going to discuss the solutions for these questions, right? Okay, the first question, which is asked in the morning session of 10th, right? The question is given like this. What it is? If there are 140 students starting from 1, out of which those divisible by 2 took maths. See, there are 140 students. For example, if you assign the roll numbers like 1, 2, 3 like that, starting from 1 to 140, the students which are divisible by 2, the number which is divisible by 2 took maths. Totally, how many students took maths? If you think like this, the number of students who took maths is nothing but the numbers which are divisible by 2 in below 140. So clearly this is 70. There are 70 even numbers. So then, a number of students, those divisible by 3 took physics. The number of students who took physics are nothing but are the divisible divisors of 3, multiples of 3, below 140. So below 140, how many divisors of 3 will be there? Okay, if you think like that, below 140, right? 40 into 3 is 120, 6 into 3 is 18. So we have 46 multiples of 3 below 140. So the number of students who took physics are given like this, and that count is 46. When coming to chemistry, the number of students which are divisible by 5 took chemistry. How many students took chemistry? Multiples of 5 below 140. So multiples of 5 below 140. If you divide 140 with 5 2 is 10 and 5 8s. So there are totally 28 students who took chemistry. Okay? And they asked us, find the number of candidates that don't take anything. The number of students which don't take any of the subjects, either maths or physics or chemistry. Okay, so as per the given problem, number of students who took maths are 70, who took physics are 46, who took chemistry are 28, but these counts are not given directly. They mentioned that which are divisible by 2 took maths, which are divisible by 3 took physics, which are divisible by 3 took chemistry. Now coming to the number of students who took both maths and physics together. The number of students who took both maths and physics together, maths are the students divisible by 2. Physics are the students which are divisible by 3. So maths and physics are nothing but number of numbers which are divisible by 2 and 3, 6. So how many numbers are there below 140 which are divisible by 6? That means I need to search for the multiples of 6 below 140. So that is nothing but just divide 140 with 6. If you divide 140 with 6, 6 2 is 12 and we left with 20 and then 6 3 is 18. So automatically 23 students took maths and physics. In the same manner, if you search for the number of students who took physics and chemistry, physics divisible by 3, chemistry corresponding to divisible by 5. So number of students who took physics and chemistry are nothing but the numbers which are divisible by 5. The numbers which are divisible by not 5, like 3 and 5 which are divisible by 15. Okay, we have to search for the 15 multiples below 140. We know that 59 is 135, so there are 9 students. In the same way, if you think for the number of students who took maths and chemistry, so this is 5 and that is 2. This is nothing but which are divisible by 10. So this is nothing but 14. Totally there are 14 students who took both chemistry and mathematics. In the same way, if you search for the number of students who took maths, physics and chemistry, okay, who took maths, physics and chemistry, by 2, by 3, by 5. So which is nothing but what? Numbers which are divisible by 2, 3, 5, that means 30. Okay. So how many students are divisible by 30? How many counts will be there? So 34 is 120, 35 is 150. So there are only 4 30 multiples below 140. So the number of students who took all the 3 subjects are nothing but 4. So as per the problem, by using the simple divisibility checkings of 2, 3 and 5, I have the number of students who took maths, who took physics, who took chemistry, as well as who took maths, physics, chemistry, maths, chemistry and all the 3 subjects. But they asked us how many students don't take anything. So for that, you just go with the usual formula or with the Venn diagrammatic representation. If you go with the Venn diagrammatic representation, you just keep in mind the 70, 46 and 28 for maths, physics and chemistry. I am going to plan a Venn diagram. See, maths, physics and chemistry. Okay, this is of maths is given as 70 and this is of physics which is nothing but 46 and chemistry which is of 28. Okay, now the number of students taking all the 3 subjects is 4. So in the intersection part I have 4. M intersection P is 23, already I have 4, so keep it at 90. And then MP intersection C is 9, already I have 4, so write here 5. And then M intersection C is 14, I have already 4, take here this 10. Now coming to 70, so count all these things. 19 and 4 is 23 plus 10, 33. 70 minus 33 is nothing but 27. Okay, now coming to here. 23 plus 5 is 28. So I need to write the remaining thing which is nothing but 18. And here total value is 28. And 14 plus 5 is 19. 28 minus 19 is nothing but 9. The remaining 9 students are the students who took only chemistry. But my question is the number of students who don't take any of the subjects out of the 140 students. For that, you just add all these values. These are the students who took either physics or chemistry or mathematics like that. If you add all these things, you get it as 102. Okay, so if you add all these things, you get it as 102. So out of 140 students, 102 students took any of the subjects. The remaining 38 students don't take any of the subjects. So your answer for this question is 38. Okay, so this is a moderate question from the chapter 6 asked in the morning session of 10th January 2019. Okay, so when coming to the question once again, in the question they mentioned that the number of students who are taking maths, physics and chemistry by the divisibility conditions of 2, 3 and 5 to check below 140. With that, I counted the number of students who took maths, physics, chemistry as well as both maths and physics, physics and chemistry, chemistry and mathematics along with all of the subjects. After making Venn diagram, I have an idea that there are totally not 2 students who took any of the subjects. The remaining 38 students are not taking any of the subjects. And your answer for the question is 38. So that is the problem, right? Then coming to the another question. Another question from the concept of sets, which is asked in morning session of the 12th January. Okay, they mentioned that a set is given like 1, 2 and so on 100. Then the number of subsets so that the product of all the elements is even. The number of subsets so that the product of all the elements is even. See how many subsets will make for this set S. Since it has 100 elements, the number of subsets for this are 2 power 100. 2 power 100 is the count which is equal to the total number of subsets. See, if you multiply all the elements of that subset, that result must be an even as per the question. Okay, that means among these 2 power 100 subsets, I need to identify those subsets whose product of elements is even. How many subsets will be there such that is the question. Okay, so for that what I do is the product of all the elements is even. Right. See, there are certain subsets in which all the elements are odd. If all the elements are odd in a subset, then product of all those elements can't be even. So I don't need the subsets which contain only odd numbers. So I need to delete I need to subtract the number of subsets which contain only odd numbers. Among these 100 numbers, there are 50 odd numbers. With those 50 odd numbers, we can make 2 power 50 subsets. If you multiply all the elements of these 2 power 50 subsets, the result clearly is an odd number, but we don't need this. So among the total number of subsets, we need to subtract these number of subsets, and your answer is 2 power 100 minus 2 power 50. Okay, so usually what the students will do at them, they will count the number of even numbers like 250, and the number of subsets formed by those even numbers is 2 power 50, and they will think that the answer may be 2 power 50. But to get the product as an even number, no need to take all even numbers. One even number is enough to make the product as even. So instead of counting all even numbers, we need to subtract all odd numbers from the total number of subsets. And your answer for the question is 2 power 100 minus 2 power 50. Okay, here is the question which is asked in the morning session of 12th January. Okay, I rate this as an easy question. Okay, right. Then coming to the next paper, which is the evening session of 12th January. There are 2 questions from the chapter sets. Okay, and one question is like this. 2 are very easy questions, and one question is the theoretical question. There are 60 students in a class. How many students are there? 60 students. Out of which 40 opt for NCC, 30 opt for NSS, and 20 opt for both. So I will draw a Venn diagram for NCC as well as NSS. As per the problem, they mentioned that 20 students opt for both NCC and NSS. So this is 20. And 40 opt for NCC. So the total thing in this circle is 40. I already have 20, so make another 20 here. And then the number of students opted for NSS are 30. Here I have 20, so one more 10 here. And then as per the question, then the probability that the student has opted for none of the NCC or NSS. Probability. We need to give a probability. Probability means what? In the denominator we have the total number of chances, as well as the numerator we have favorable chances. See, totally 20 students for NCC, both 20 for only NCC, 10 for NSS. If you count these 3 values, what is that one? 50. So totally 50 students will opt for either NCC or for NSS. Out of the total 60 students, 10 students don't opt for any of those things. So 10 students don't opt for any of those. Out of 60, 10 don't opt for any of those. We need to give the probability for that one. So our probability is 10 by 60, and your answer is 1 by 6. Okay, actually it's an easy question in the morning session of 12th January. Right? And another question in the same paper, morning session of 12th, evening session of 12th January. The question is given like this. We have 2 sets in set builder form. A is set x such that x belongs to z, and 2 power x plus 2 into x square minus 5x plus 6 is equals to 1. This is one set is given as A. And another set B is x such that x belongs to z and minus 3 less than 2x minus 1 less than 9. So we have 2 sets A and B in set builder form. And they ask this, the number of subsets of A cross B. We need to give the count of the number of subsets of A cross B. So for A cross B, first of all, to give the number of subsets of A cross B, we need to count the number of elements of A cross B. To count the number of elements of A cross B, we need to count the number of elements of A as well as the number of elements of B. So how many elements will be there in the set B? This is given like minus 3 less than 2x minus 1 less than 9. If we add 1 everywhere, minus 2 less than 2x less than 10. Divide with 2, minus 1 less than x less than 5. So minus 1 less than x less than 5. Then what are the possibilities of x here if you observe? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the possibilities of x. So totally there are 5. So number of elements in the set B is 5. Then coming to set A. 2 power x plus 2 into x square minus 5x plus 6 is equals to 1. To count the number of elements, we need to find out the values of x which are satisfying this equation. If you think this 1 has 2 power 0, okay, if this power is 0, then the result is 1. Whenever this power is 0, either x is equals to minus 2, from this either x is equals to 2 or 3. So we have three chances of x here, minus 2, 2, 3. So the number of elements in set A is equals to 3. The number of elements in set A is 3. The number of elements in set B is 5. Then the number of elements in the set A cross B is equals to 15. N of A into N of B. N of A cross B is equals to N of A into N of B. So 3 into 5 is 15. Since the number of elements in A cross B is 15, they asked us the number of subsets of A cross B. Here it is 2 power 15. And your answer for this question is 2 power 15. Okay. This is also an easy question. So we need to count the number of elements in A as well as in B, then the number of elements in A cross B, from there the number of subsets of A cross B. Okay, so these are the 4 questions asked in JEE Main General 2019. Thank you.